Hello everyone and welcome back to Eat Sleep Reef. I want to thank you guys for joining us today. Today's going to be a very exciting video I have for you guys. It's going to be covering the full programming of your Jebao DP-4 auto dosing pump. Now this video is not only going to cover the calibration, the programming, but it's also going to cover a few quick tips that I think you guys are going to find very useful. So out on the market, I had my mind on a lot of dosers. There's aquamaxx, bubble magnets. There's so many pumps out there, and the main difference on a lot of them is price. This hobby is very expensive, so I was going towards a budget doser. Now this doser here is $69, $69 on Amazon. The bubble magnets, a lot of the other companies are $300 pumps, and you only get 3 heads versus 4. Now, if you guys are like me, you're going to research it and you're going to find a lot of people saying it's great. You're going to find a lot of people saying it's horrible, that the pump gets stuck on the on position, and so on and so forth. Now, my personal belief and thought on the negative reviews. I come from a background of FPV racing, drones. I do that also as a hobby, RC planes, and it's very much the same. You're going to hear so many people talking bad about certain products, but what I tell everybody, you don't know who's sitting across that computer. You don't know their knowledge, their experience. You don't know if maybe they didn't even calibrate something properly. I mean, you just have absolutely no clue. So, given if every single review on this pump was horrible, then I'd say, okay, you know what? Maybe this pump isn't the best out there. But I actually knew a few fellow reefers. Reef Dudes is one of them. And if you guys aren't following him, be sure to check out his channel, Reef Dudes. He has tons of weekly videos, a lot of great, useful information. And it's actually because of him that I went for this pump. He's had his for, I think, a year, 2 years, and he said he's never had any problems with it whatsoever. So I said, if it works for him, I'm sure it's going to work for me. So just keep that in mind when you are reading the reviews. It's a great pump. I find it very hard for it to get stuck in the on position other than you programming it wrong or not calibrating it right. So I don't know. I can see it underdosing if the little gears start wearing, not the gears, but the little round, I don't even know what to call them, start slipping. The little barrels in there start slipping. They're not barrels, but I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments. But I can see if those start slipping on the line through wear and tear, after a year, 2 years of using it, I can see it underdosing, because of that. But overdosing, I find it very hard, to see how something like that would happen. Is it impossible? No. Am I saying that people that said it did it are liars? Absolutely not. I'm just saying try it for yourself, and so you can have your personal input on it. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. So enough with that talking. Let's get into it. So my previous video, if you guys saw, that was kind of the open box, my first thoughts. Obviously, I've been playing with this for a few days now, really trying to get familiar with it. So when I do this video, I'm very comfortable with it. And believe it or not, I'm super, super comfortable with this thing. I can actually have I can probably go to a college and do a whole college course on this. I'm just kidding. But I feel very comfortable with this pump at this point. And yeah. Another thing, I really hope you guys appreciate these videos, because guys, believe it or not, every time I purchase something like this, I can't install it on my tank until I do a video for you guys. I really enjoy putting out these videos, and I really hope you guys enjoy them, because like I said, I don't install any of this equipment until I have all the videos done, because if not, I'm going to get lazy. I'm not going to want to take it apart later. So my tank kind of has to suffer a little bit until I get all the videos done. But the good side of that, it pushes me to really push the videos out. So yeah, I've been holding on this thing for like 3 days, 4 days already. And I'm like, I got to do the video. I got to do the video before I put it on my tank. So tomorrow, I'm hoping to put it on my tank, and my corals are going to love it. Everybody's going to love it. So that's that. So let's get into the programming. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to plug it up, and I want to quickly introduce you guys to the controls. So the first thing we're going to set on this thing is the time and the date. That's the very first thing we're going to cover. So the basic controls, you got a center button. right, left, up, down, and then escape, also known as the back button. So the first thing, it is in sleep mode. Press any button to wake it up. There you can see the date and the time. You know, you got the hours, minutes, and seconds. And yes, guys, it is 1 o'clock in the morning today. I'm actually shooting this video at 1 o'clock in the morning for you guys. You guys can see that I really, truly enjoy doing these videos. But anyways, it is July 30th of 2017. So this does work on military time. Keep that in mind. There is no AM or PM, but you're going to notice a lot of the other equipment in this hobby works on military time. I think it's a lot easier like that for manufacturers, you know, so I think that's why they do that. So to set your date and time, you want to press the center button, and you can see this little arrow on the left. It goes up or down. And you want to hover it over set time and date. So the first thing we want to set, I'm going to pretend like it's brand new. You know, 2017. There we go. Oh, there we go. And then it's April, May, June, July. And today is the 30th. So there we go. Once you're done with that, you want to press enter. So you can see how I can navigate from right to left here and then up and down to change the value. So enter is going to save it and take us to the next menu. So here you see the time. It is 1 o'clock in the morning. Or sorry, it's not 1 o'clock, it's midnight. I'm so sorry for that. You can see, guys, I've had a little bit of a rough day. So it's midnight, it's 12 o'clock with 11 minutes. So you can set the minutes like that. And then the seconds, you know, if you guys want to bother with the seconds, you can. If you don't care about the seconds, you know, by all means, just don't worry about it. And then, like I said, this, you know, right, left, up, down gives you the value, and then enter is going to save it. So there we go. So today is the year 2017. It is July. It is the 30th of July, and it's 12:11 with 22 seconds. So that's it. And like I said, going back to the escape brings us back to the main menu. So the next thing we're going to cover is calibration. This is by far, guys, the most important step of when you get this pump. They don't come calibrated, or I mean they do, but it's like a default setting, which you don't want to trust whatsoever. You want to do your own calibration with basic water. The only tool you are going to need for the calibration is a cup. Now this cup has to have at the very least, it's hard to see with the light here. Let me, oh there, I say that made it a little bit harder. Wants to have at least 100 milliliters or 100 milliliter mark because this pump is calibrated to 100 milliliters. So it's very crucial you have something, a plastic cup. I mean, you can go to Dollar Tree and find them, order it online, whatever the case is. It has to have 100 milliliters. You can also use something like this. This one even, I had no idea this had 100 milliliters, or else I would have used this. But this also has a mark right here. So you're going to want 2 containers, one with your water, bare water, nothing fancy. Tap water works perfectly fine. And then you're going to want to have your measuring cup that has a 100 milliliter mark to do the calibration. Now the calibration is going to have to be done for every single pump. This has a total of 4 heads. If you're running this in a slave mode, which you'd plug in the slave pump here, right here, that would give you a total of 8 channels. Oh, there goes my phone. Sorry about that, guys. You guys can see there my phone was beginning to fall right there. Luckily I caught it. But anyways, if you are running the 8 pumps with this, they sell a slave version of this. So you can have 8. I'm actually going to be buying that as well, so I can run the Red Sea coral colors. But we'll save that for another video. You'd want to program all 8 pumps. Even if you're not going to, let's say if you say, I'm only going to use these 2, forget about those guys. It doesn't take you much time. Just calibrate it. Last thing you want to do down the road is set these running and you forgot you never calibrated them. You can either overdose, underdose, and that is not going to be good at all for your tank. So be sure to calibrate them all, including the slave one. If you did buy the slave, it doesn't take much of your time, so just get it done. So the first thing I want to talk about, this is going to be a tip I want to tell you guys. You may get this pump and you're going to notice you start running it. We're going to start the calibration here in a little bit, but you're going to notice that you're pumping it and there's nothing coming out of it. So you're probably going to say, oh, this thing's a piece of crap. I'm going to return it. I'm going to get my money back. Guys, there's, it's not that it's a crappy product. This happens with every doser out there on the market. Bubble Magnus, every single doser that uses this mechanism. What happens is these lines here are silicone, okay? So when these are manufactured, obviously they don't run any liquid to them, right? So during shipping, the rollers inside are pressing against the silicone, which given is dry. If you press silicone together for, enough time, it will kind of like, I wouldn't say bond itself together, but it'll crimp itself together, allowing no air, no liquid to go through. And that's exactly what happens. So you may notice you're running the pump, you're like, what the heck, nothing's happening. What you're probably gonna have to do is open it up, and then once you open it up, you can remove the kink. And to really open it up, you don't need much. So all you really need is a flathead screwdriver like this, and then you can get it going. And to remove it, you remove this clip up here, and then there's another clip here on the bottom, and you just remove this. What I'm gonna do now is actually show you guys how to remove it, because actually three of these were kinked, and I'm gonna show you guys how you remove it and how to get the kink out and get the bugs worked out of it so you get it working properly. So let's get to that. So here you can see the, I guess the head removed from the doser, and it removed, this is how the front of it looks, and then inside, here you can see what I'm talking about. You also see the mechanism, the rollers. There's a shaft that goes through the middle, this shaft, and then the rollers, 1, 2, 3 rollers that spin and pretty much force the liquid. But I don't know if you're able to see that, but the kink, there's actually 2 kinks. There's one right here and one right here. So that is, you can run it. I've run them for a while, and I noticed the only way to get them out is actually taking it out. So the way you do that is lift this up, lift this up, and then take them out like this. You can clearly see the kink in that line right there. So all you do is massage it out. There you go. So got the water dripping now, so I got to put that in there. And I use here a flathead screwdriver to pop out, again, the top piece and the bottom right here, to get it off. And let's assume this whole thing falls apart, worst case scenario, because it may happen. So the way to put it back together is, there's only one way these will go in, because they have closed on one end, open on the other. So you put it in like that, and you put this one in like that, and this one in like that. And then the way I do it is I like to put this in first, and then feed this back in there. Also, while I'm feeding it back in there, what I use is a business card to kind of shove this you want to get it as far down as possible. And you don't want to use something like this, because last thing you want to do is stab a hole into this thing. So I use a business card, fold it up, and just work it in. So right now I'm going to put it in, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how it looks complete right before we install. Actually, I figured I'm better off showing you guys how to put it back together, as I feel it will be a little bit more helpful than just doing it. So I got my tripod out here to show you guys how to do it. So once again, we got the you guys saw how we put the rollers back in, and all these things pretty much do is just spin. So the way I put this back in is you feed these guys in there, and then feed this one in there. You'll see there's kind of like a guide for them that they fall in. So we don't need to push them down all the way yet. The next thing is we slowly, as best you can, start feeding in the line. And you may notice you may have to move the rollers like this. Okay, once I have it like that, you know, it's not all the way in there, but we want to push it as far down as possible. So you get a business card folded in half. There, there, there. It may take a little bit of moving the rollers around for you to get it right. But you do want to get it as far down as possible as you can. And I'm pretty satisfied with how that is there. You can see how far that is down. And now you can push these guys all the way down, because these have guides. You can see there's a little channel there for it. So push them all the way down. And then it's a matter of just making sure the top and the bottom clips on the doser. So I'll go ahead and show you guys how to get that on. Alright, so there really isn't you know, a right or wrong way of doing this. I'm noticing it either way works great, and you want to make sure this shaft is going right through the center. So that's the first thing you want to check. Make sure it's right through the center. Okay, there we go. Okay, the top one's on. Bottom one's in, and then I'm going to verify visually. Okay, I'm happy with that. So now you got that on, and you guys got to see how to work out the kinks on any one of these. This one wasn't kinked. This one worked perfectly fine. This one was kinked. This one was kinked, and this one was kinked. So don't think it's the doser not working. This actually happens with a lot of dosers out there, because this is silicone tubing. After a while, this thing being like that and dry, no liquid inside, that's going to happen. So that would never happen when there's liquid inside and when you're using the doser, so don't worry about that happening later on. Alright, now that we've got the kink removed, we can actually start using it. So the first thing you want to do, so all these on the left side are inputs. So your input is going to go to your source of water. In my case, is on this side, and then your right side on all these is your output. So that's what comes out. Okay, and actually I wanna do something for you guys so you see. Okay, I'm gonna purposely get air in these lines. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I want to show you guys how to get the air out. So I'm purposely going to get air in them. And eventually, if you don't get the air out, the air will work itself out. But it's better if you get it out. And it's very simple, especially during the calibration. Because if you don't get it out through the calibration, it may tinker with the calibration just a hair. So be sure you get it out. So I'm going to put this into my measuring cup, and then I'm going to be using this box just to hold the line down. That's all I'm using this box for, guys, because I only have two hands here. Got a camera, so there's a lot going on. So just excuse me if that's kind of in the way. So to get this bad boy into calibration mode, hit the center button. Okay, you can see there we're to the home menu. Pressing up or down arrows will get us into calibration. You know you're into calibration when it says correct pumps. I don't know why they didn't word it calibrate pumps, but anyways, correct pumps means calibrate. So you may notice there's 5, 6, 7, 8. You're saying, where the hell is 5, 6, 7, 8? I only have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's only if you're running the slave. If you're not running the slave, don't worry about it. All right. So ignore 5, 6, 7, 8. And obviously I have 4 hooked up, so I'm gonna start on 4. One's flashing, but I don't have it hooked up. You can do it in any order you want. 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 4. It doesn't matter. Do it in whatever order you want. So we're gonna scroll all the way to the right till the number 4 is flashing. You can see there. We're gonna hit the center button, which is enter. And then you're gonna see 100 milliliters equals, I believe the 186 is the revolutions. I'm not sure if it is or isn't, or if it's not seconds, because it goes very, very fast. I think it may be RPM. So whatever the case is, this system knows, I had previously calibrated it, that 186 millimeters or milliliters is equal to 186 revolutions. That's assuming that is a revolution. So if the computer internally divides that number by half, it knows it's going to feed 50 milliliters, and that's how it does all the math on its own. So to start the calibration, you want to press up, and then you can see there that the numbers start counting, as well as the green light coming on. You can see that there. So the perfect example of the bubble, there's actually a bubble right here. So I'm going to show you guys how I get that bubble out. So all you really do is just hit this. There it goes. I don't know if you guys can see, that's moving right there. There it is. So you just want to hit these right there. There's more bubbles right here. And just keep hitting this. And do both sides of it to make sure you get all the bubbles out. And this is just going to guarantee a better calibration. Just keep hitting it. You can see all the little bubbles flying out of it. Okay, and then what I do, the first calibration is only to run the bubbles out. So this value isn't going to mean anything, because all I'm doing I'm running it to get the pump wet, to get the lines wet. And there's probably someone's going to put a comment, that's what she said. But anyways, I'm only running it to get the bubbles out and to get it wet. And yes, I know someone's going to say that's what she said. So just getting that out there. So I think I'm pretty comfortable with that. It's run enough of it out there. So to stop the calibration, you press the up button. Now, if you leave this like this, it's going to think 100 milliliters is equal to 187 revolutions. So don't leave it like this, guys. Be sure you finish the full calibration. And by finish, I mean you actually measure out 100 milliliters. So let me empty this back right here. So right now, this is going to be for real. So right now, this is going to be the actual test. So we got all the bubbles ran out of these lines. Feel perfectly comfortable with that. So now let's begin the test. So all we do is, again, let's assume it goes back to the previous menu, which it shouldn't. If it doesn't, all you have to do is press up like that. But let's assume if it does go to the beginning menu, just remember, press enter. Or sorry, press up, then highlight pump 4. And then to start it, just press the up button. I think even pressing the down one works too. Let's try it. Okay, no, you must press the up button for the calibration. So that makes it easy. So just press up. Okay, so this is for real. You can see they're counting. And you can see that's not seconds. It's going really, really fast. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So it's going super fast. It's not seconds. I think that may be RPM. So anyways, as soon as this cup reaches, or let me get in, as soon as this cup reaches 100 milliliters, you want to press the up button immediately. Don't let it, go over, because that's what it's going to store in the memory as far as the calibration. So let me get down a little bit so I can see this thing. Okay. Okay, and then remember, we want to press the up button as soon as it's done. All right, we're at 80 milliliters. We are at 90. And then right here, we're at 100. Okay. Let me bring it up to the camera. It's kind of hard to see, but you guys are gonna have to trust me. That's 100 milliliters. So now you can see this has stored in the memory that 100 milliliters is going to be equal to 185. I'm assuming again it's revolutions. So to save that, press the center button, and then that's saved. That is absolutely it. You're 100% done for the calibration. Now you want to repeat the same steps for all three of these pumps. Remember, make sure they're not kinked. Make sure you get the bubbles out. Run it initially just for testing. It's not for the actual calibration. Then you empty it out, and then you start the real calibration. And that's it, guys, for the calibration. You're 100% done. So once you're here, you can press escape, and we're back to the main menu. So going into the program menu, I want to explain the programming. After the programming, we're going to do a test run and see if this thing is actually dosing 100 milliliters. So here we go. So you press the center button, and right now it's highlighting set date and time with this little arrow right here. So I'm going to press down, and the arrow is going to fall. You can see there it says set program. So I want to press enter, or the center button. And then here, obviously, you can tinker with whatever pump you're working on. In our case, we're working on pump 4, so we're going to stay with pump 4 highlighted. If I want to do pump 3, pump 2, pump 1, whatever the case is, you can do that. So again, we're working on pump 4, and then we're going to press enter. So the first menu you get is times per day. So how many times do you want this to dose? Do you want it dose 1 time per day, 2 times per day, 3 times per day, 4 times per day, 5 times per day, up to 24 times per day? So if you guys may be saying, well, why the heck, would you want to dose so much? Well, at night, like the way I'm going to use this feature for alkalinity, I'm going to have it dose 2 or 3 times during the night, so I can spread it out to hopefully not drop my pH too much at night, because typically that's when your pH will drop. So let's just throw a number. Let's assume I'm dosing 30 milliliters of alkalinity. I can spread that out into 3 times during the night so it doesn't drop my pH too much or at all. And you can see doing that would just be a matter of doing 3, and then you can do it 3 times per day, and that would be it. So right now we're only going to be focusing on 1 time per day. So we press the enter, and then intervals. You can see here, intervals. So intervals is one of the hardest things to understand. I know a lot of people get confused, but I'm going to try to explain it the way I understand it. And I think the best way to understand it is imagine a calendar right in front of you. Or if you want to grab a calendar, by all means grab a calendar. But here, let me explain it to you, and hopefully you guys understand it. So with the number 00, it's going to dose every single day. With the number 1, it's going to dose every other day. With the 2, it's going to dose every other day, if that makes any sense. So with 1 interval, it's going to every other day, every second day, third day, and so on and so forth. So let's put this into perspective. With 00, it's going to dose if I start Monday, it's going to dose Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, on to Sunday, or obviously through the whole month. If I have 1 in there, it's going to dose Monday. It's not going to dose Tuesday. It's going to dose Wednesday. It's not going to dose Thursday. If I have 2 in there, it's going to dose Monday, not Tuesday, not Wednesday, but Thursday it is going to dose, and so on and so forth. I think you guys get the idea of how it works. So a way you can have this is you can have this thing dosing 1 time a month. If there's a certain, a certain chemical, not chemical, but let's say a certain trace element you're trying to dose that you only need to do it 1 time a month, you can easily achieve that here. And that's how interval works. So for this test, we're going to be doing one, like for my calcium, I'm probably going to do like every second day. Every second day, or at least every other day for my calcium, just because I know my calcium and how it is. It's either do that or dose very little every day. So you have those options. So for these tests, we're going to keep it at 0, and then we press enter. So here's where we tell it how many milliliters we want it to dose. So you can see right now it's highlighting, well, when you first get it, it's going to look like this. Everything's going to be 0, right? So if you want to dose 1 milliliter, you would do that. If you want to dose 11 milliliters, if you want to dose 111 milliliters, if you want to dose 1,111 milliliters, you would do it like that. One thing to understand with this is this number, each digit only goes up to 9. So let's assume you want to do 10. You're going to go all the way up to 9, and you say, what the hell? It's not working. It's not going to 10. Well, the way you set it to 10 is you put this back at 0, and the next one you put to 1, and that makes it 10 milliliters. So that's how this works. After this, you get to set the time you want to start. So let's assume, if another example I want to show you guys, let me go back. Let's assume you wanted to dose 3 times a day, 3 times per day, and every day I wanted to dose 10 milliliters for the first dose. You can see number 1, that's going to be the first dose. Remember, we chose 3. And you get to set the time of that specific dose. Dose number 2, let's say I want this one to dose 20 milliliters. I choose 20, set the time for that one. And let's assume the third one, I wanted to dose 10 milliliters. Press enter, and then I would set the time for that one. And then that's it. We have it 100% programmed. So I'm obviously going to remove that. I'm going to put it back to 1 time per day. So right now we're actually going to run the test. So to run the test, you want to see what time it is, because you obviously want to set it to that time. So it's 0030. So we're going to set it to 0032 to give me a little bit of time. So remember, we go to set program, pump 4, 1 time per day, interval to be every day, and then we're going to dose, let's do 100 milliliters just for the hell of it. We'll do 100 milliliters, press enter, and put this back to 00 because it is midnight. Just hold that down. Okay. And I actually forgot what time it is already. Well, it's not 58, so here, let me see. 31, so 32. 32, 32, 32, 32. I forget. So we're going to put this bad boy at 32. So at 12:32, we wanted to, and then you would press enter, and then it takes you back to this menu, and then you can do escape. So it's about to start, you can see right now. So I got to get this whole thing set up really quickly. So we want to get this bad boy here. I'm going to put this box on it just to hold the line for me. So okay, at 12:32 you're going to see it start right now, and it's going to dose 100 milliliters. And you're going to know it starts because it's not noisy, but it makes a little bit of noise. And then you're going to see that light come on right here. There you go. So here we go. We're dosing 100 milliliters. So this is the waiting game. And this is just, once again, this is for our test. So you can do 50 milliliters, 20 milliliters. I mean, you can do as many milliliters as you want on this bad boy, just to confirm that it is working properly. And you can run these tests for all of them, run it for one, I mean, you know, whatever you want. So you did see this go off. This does have an auto sleep mode, so it goes into sleep mode. Don't think it turned off. It's just to save some power. We should almost be at 100 milliliters. Let me check it. Yep, we're about to hit 80. I guess I can take this off. It doesn't look like it's moving too much. We're at 90. Okay, we're about to hit 100 milliliters right now. So let's see how accurate this bad boy is. Okay, there we go. Look at that, guys. Wow. Look at this. This is 100% on point. check this out. I hope you guys can see it in the camera. Let me see, focus. I don't know if you guys can see right there, that line. It's exactly 100 milliliters. Check that out. I mean, it doesn't get any more accurate than that. You see that low line right there? Look at that, guys. So that's pretty much it. If you guys want, just for, you know, shits and giggles, what we're gonna do right now, we'll do 20 milliliters, just for the heck of it. I actually like seeing this thing run. I don't know if that's a weird thing. And then I guess this will help us program it really quickly. Okay. So it's 34. So let's see if we can do it for 35. So I'm going to do this pretty fast. 35. 32, 33, 34, 35. Okay, enter. Okay, 34, 35. So here we go. 20 milliliters, test number 2. Let's see how this goes. Okay, pump is on. It's actually very quiet. I mean, it's not silent, but it's not loud by any means. So this one should finish very fast. It's only 20 milliliters. There we go. Let me see. Look at that. I mean, this thing doesn't get any more perfect than that, guys. Let me get you guys in focus. Does it help with my hand? Look, I don't know if you guys could see that line right there. That's 20 milliliters. Look at that. I'm trying to hold it as steady as I can. But you guys can see it's exactly 20 milliliters. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. Let me make sure we covered everything. So this is going to be a quick recap. So wake it up from sleep mode. Pressing up or down gets us into our calibration. Once you set your calibration, you only want to do it about once every 6 months. Not that it's necessary, but you want to make sure that any wear and tear that's going on inside, you accommodate for it and you calibrate. And I recommend that pretty much with any pump. You know, once every 6 months. It takes you a few seconds to do, so it's not going to hurt it. So this is our calibration menu. You can press escape. Remember, this is where you set your time and date. This is where you set your programming. Choose your pumps for programming. How many times per day. Your intervals, every day, every other day, every third day, every fourth day, every fifth day, so on and so forth. How much you want to dose, you know, whatever dosage you want. You can go as low as 1 milliliter. So it's actually almost nothing. But yeah, you can do as low as 1 milliliter. So once you set that, press enter. Then you set your time you want it to dose at, press enter, and it's saved. Press escape, and you're back to the main menu. And that's pretty much it. So you guys saw this pump it's at the beginning, it may seem very difficult. Once you have it in front of you and you're watching this video, you'll be like, whoa, I quickly got the hang of it. It's not very difficult at all. But I think that's going to be it, guys. I'm trying to see. I don't think I missed anything. Yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up for today's video covering the DP-4 Jebao auto dosing pump. You know, if you really want to take your tank to the next level, if you really want to bring stability into your tank, and obviously corals and everything really starts thriving once you have stability and consistency. That's what you're going to notice when you really start having success. So if you really want to introduce that into your tank, I highly recommend you get an auto dosing pump. For $69, you cannot go absolutely wrong. It's worth every single penny. And like I said, I love this thing so much, I'm going to be buying the slave module to run 4 more of these in my tank. But that's pretty much it, everyone. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I really, honestly, guys, I truly enjoy making these videos for you guys. You know, I don't do it for the views. I mean, of course I do enjoy the views and the comments and everything, but I truly, absolutely enjoy doing this. I don't know, I love, you know, people being able to learn from my videos. So if you guys enjoyed this video, guys, please give me a like. If I earned your subscription and you're not subscribed to my channel, guys, be sure to subscribe to my channel. If you are subscribed, be sure to hit the notification button, the little bell right by the subscription, just so you get notifications every time I have a video out. So you're the first one to get the alert, you get to watch it. And that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, any comments or concerns, please leave them down in the comment box below, guys. You know, I love to chat. Let me know what you guys think about dosing. Is it something you currently do? Is it something you're thinking? Maybe you have a few questions about it. By all means, ask me. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, be sure to check me out. There's going to be a link down below to my Instagram channel. And that's going to be it for today, everyone. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Happy reefing.